Mike Bohn here at UFC 320 with Veronica Hardy, who opens the card against Brogan Walker on Saturday. Veronica, big fight for you. I know, like, kind of the 2.0 version. You were on such a nice run there. You had the setback. What did you kind of learn from the last fight that you're bringing into this one?
I have a lot of frustration from my last fight, if I'm being honest. I think sometimes you or for me, I tried to be so technical that I kind of almost forgot that I was in a fight. You know, I felt like I let it slip away from me where I didn't do anything. It was quite boring. It was frustrating. I could hear the frustration in my corner's voice, and there was just a lot to take from that, and a lot to learn, and a lot to grow, and to realize that, you know, there are different aspects of the fight. It's not just the analytical MMA side, but it's also about going out there and putting on like a great performance, putting on a fight with a lot of intention, something that I had no problem with before, but then kind of like this 2.0 version was debating that. So finding the mixture and the right balance has been part of my focus.
What do you think that was it too much like sparring energy and as opposed to like real fight type of thing you felt in there, or how would you describe it?
I wouldn't say like sparring energy. I don't think I did enough sparring during that camp. You know, obviously, like I had gone to New York, and I had struggled to find some partners to do sparring with. So that was part of it. That was part of the reason why I now came to Vegas, and I've trained at Extreme Couture, and I've had so many girls. So I think that was something that I needed to fix within the camp. But also just the mentality, the visualization of the fight, the way that I viewed myself, and the way that I viewed the job that I had to do.
I know you and Dan are so like focused on your martial arts journey and evolution, everything. Whose idea was the Vegas element of it? And I guess you seem to feel like that paid off in great benefit.
It was a mixture, you know. I was with Dan because he was commentating, and I had a Coach Giff that he used to train Dan many years ago. He was there, and I worked with him a little bit, and he told me that there was a girls group session, that I had to come out, that there was a lot of girls to train with, and that's usually an issue, especially living in Europe. There's not a lot of female training partners, and if there are, they're really far away from each other. So that's a thing within itself to try and get that work. And obviously it's very different if you have male training partners, because as good and as skilled as they are, you know, they're not going to hit you. They're not going to hit you hard. And if they do, I mean, they're an asshole. So you just have that reality check that you need to, because it's like, okay, it's a female your size. What are you going to say? Your technique didn't work, or your strength didn't work, or there was something wrong. And I needed that. And, you know, he told me that this was here, and I had planned to come out here. I had actually planned to come out here and then had the fight offer. So I extended my stay, and it's worked out really great. I'm very happy about it.
That's perfect. Like you said, kind of this game is such a thing of checks and balances, right? You think you're overdoing something and you pull it back, and it seems like that's kind of what you're figuring out with the intensity in the fight. So what is your perfect happy medium for Saturday?
I don't understand the question.
Like, what's the perfect middle ground for you in terms of, like, you're saying last time it didn't feel like you were fighting too much, and maybe you're overanalyzing the technical side of it. Like, what do you need to do for it to be, I guess, in the right balance in your mind?
I just need to be present. I just need to be present on what's in front of me and how I take care of the things in front of me, and not trying to figure out 4 or 5 moves ahead sometimes that you wait for it to happen. But then you only have 3 5-minute rounds. Really, that goes by in the blink of an eye, and then you're left like, did that just really happen? Can I do it again? Oh no, can I wake up again and redo that? That was terrible. And then you're stuck with it for like 8 months. So I just think it's about being there. It's about being present, about what's coming at you, and not all the different possibilities, because that's what training camp is for, to prepare yourself to react to these possibilities, and just trusting that. And I think more trust in myself and more presence.
And that all comes with experience, right? Like knowing just when the best feeling, and you can put in a perfect camp, and maybe on the fight night you don't feel the right way, right? That's why you guys do this, though, right? Is to see if it can all come together on the night.
Yeah, I mean, like I look back at like some of the training videos of New York, and because I filmed some of it, and like the movement and stuff, and I'm like, what did you do?
Cringe?
Like, yeah, no, it was good movement. And then I did none of it during the fight. I'm like, what did you do? And like, you just gave it away. Such an opportunity, and that like sits with you, but then you have to like look dig deep within yourself and to see the things that you need to change. And sometimes there's things within your own personality that you have to change and adjust. And you wouldn't know that unless you had the opportunity. And you don't know if you have improved that unless you put yourself in the situation again. So here I am.
There you go. And what do you make of Brogan? Only one fight in the UFC so far, didn't go her way, but what did you take away from that, and what are you expecting out of her? Usually, fight number 2 in the UFC is more comfortable for everyone than fight number 1.
Yeah, I mean, she had the tough finale and then her debut, and dude, she's really tough. She's tricky. She does things that are unorthodox, and if you're caught staring, if I get caught staring like I did in my last fight, it can complicate itself. So I just need to be present and just bring the fight to her.
It's an interesting time at women's flyweight right now. We have a huge title fight coming up at UFC 322. Just give me your thoughts on Zhang Weili moving up, and how do you think she does against Valentina Shevchenko?
Oh, that's a very, very interesting fight. Honestly, it's one that when it got announced, I was so excited for. And especially because you have so much experience out of both fighters. Sometimes that's lacking in a sense. I don't think there's that much of a height difference. I know Weili is a bit shorter, but she's extremely strong, and we've seen her be so versatile in everything. And we know how great Valentina is. So I'm just excited for the matchup. I don't know if the weight cut was a bit too much for Weili, because you can tell that she's very strong and muscular. So if it is, I'm very happy that she moved up. So just healthier, better fights is all what I like.
And last thing for you, you win this, it'll be 4-1 since you made the return to the UFC. What do you think that does for your career? What kind of fight do you think that positions for you, probably to start off 2026?
I'm not sure, really. It's what the UFC gives you. Sometimes they just throw curveballs at you. I just wait till they give me a fight and I say, let's go, and I prepare the best I can for it. All fights are a different challenge. They're all different puzzles. I mean, everybody in this division is tough, and everybody can give you a hard matchup no matter what their ranking is. So I just want to make sure I take every opportunity and every fighter as seriously as I can.
Do you hope by sometime later, this time next year or something, you are fighting ranked opponents in this division?
I believe depending on my performance this weekend, I need to prove to myself that I belong there.
And what does that mean in your mind, just to win, or does it need to be more something that comes attached to the win?
I need to perform the way that I know that I can, if that makes sense. I don't think that I have been able to showcase that, and that's quite frustrating. It's kind of been ooh, I won, I got that over with, and that's not the way that I train. I train very, very hard, very diligent, and that needs to show, and I need to start believing that.
Well, I love your mindset. These are all great things you want to hear, so I'm really looking forward to this fight on Saturday. It will be opening UFC 320. Thank you so much for the time, Veronica.